Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This video we are basically wrapping up August with how many books I read and what I rated them and my thoughts. I do understand that this is probably going to go up in October. However, I needed to make sure I got that ACOTAR reading vlog out before I posted a August wrap up, because obviously I read ACOTAR in August, so I wanted to make sure that I got that out of the way before I actually posted low-key a spoiler. So we'll just move along. For today's video, I thought we could do a more chilled, relaxing, laid-back video because, you know, I'm not feeling all like, I mean, this is pretty dressed up for me. But I was initially gonna put just me in my pajamas. But then I'm like, do I want that on the internet? I decided that maybe I should just get dressed instead. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the wrap up. For August, I read about 9 books. Crazy. 4 were romances, 3 were fantasies, and 2 were YA crime thrillers. I think I read 3,376 pages and my average rating was a 3.5. So for my first book that I read in August, I have The Never List. I do also have like part of the TBR above me. I meant to put that back and then I ran out of time, so now we're just leaving it there. We have The Never List here by Jade Presley. This book is a gorgeous edition. I highly recommend this book. Stunning book. But yeah, I read this. I finished it. It only took me 4 days to read it. Or 3. I can't remember how long August is. I read this book within like 3-ish days and my rating for it is a 4.5. I think about this book, the more I'm like, it was kind of a 5-star. Like, I get the, you know, the 5-star feels. I do remember things that I didn't love about it. So I'm debating on if I should bump this up to a 5-star or not. Time shall tell, I suppose. Hopefully when the sequel comes out, I will love that even more. I will have to look into the release date for the sequel because I am very much excited to move along in this series. This is a Why Choose fantasy romance or romance fantasy. Our main character, Riley Gray, is trying to find her sister who has disappeared, and her sister went to a party. I forgot the name of, I think it's like The Choosing. So her sister went to The Choosing, which is basically a competition to win the hearts and be the mate of these 4 princes. They each have different kingdoms and they rule over their respected kingdoms. And basically, if you're chosen, you're the chosen one, and you have to go through like some trials, some like getting to know each of the boys. If she is chosen and makes it to the end of her trials, she has to go through an immortality change to herself to make her immortal, because these princes are also immortal. Then things happen, beginning, middle, and end. So oh my god, yeah, I literally spaced out the ending. Girl, the ending, oh my goodness. That ending though, crazy. So yes, I gave The Never List a 4.5, and I will say, I absolutely, if you don't know me at all, I love a Why Choose romance. I love a Why Choose romance. They are like my favorite. I don't know if they're like a genre, but like my favorite trope in a book. Like, give me any Why Choose and I'll love it. So 4.5 stars. I liked all of the characters, at least. I loved Jax and Cal are my favorite of the boys, me personally. Jax has that like mysterious vibe and Cal is just like a lover. Like, he is just like a man, okay? So we love that for them. And Pearson Axel, they're also very lovely. I also like them, but Jackson Keller, my favorite. Let me know if you've read this and what your guys' thoughts are. Please do, because I am more than happy to talk about this. Okay, anytime, anytime. The next book I read in August, I read from August 4th through the 5th, so I literally read it in one day. This book, Right Number, Wrong Man by I Am Wrath. I got this as an ARC, actually, and my rating for it is 4 stars. I don't have anything written down in my review, which is not very helpful, but let me see if I wrote it down in my notes, because I've been trying to keep up on that for the end of the year wrap up. I didn't, of course I didn't. Okay, from what I can remember in this, actually I could literally go to my Instagram where I probably wrote a whole review. This is a dark rom-com, and I believe the male main character is ex-military, and he used to be a sniper for the Navy, I believe. And let me just read off the tropes. We have spicy lessons. We have brother's wife. Oh my god, I forgot about that. We have obsessive, MMC, hate to love, secret identity, and banter. So those are just ones that I wrote down. From what I remember is that this is definitely a dark romance, and he is obsessed with her. It's a kind of second chance-ish, friends, childhood best friends. It's kind of like weird because it's like best friend's wife. You're like, what? Yeah, believe me, I was like that as well. I didn't know that that's what that was until I started reading, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. And trust me, yes, it was crazy. But I did read it in one day, so you know what, can I blame the author? No, it's on me. It's literally on me. He buys an apartment right next to our female main character and just kind of like stalks her. Just like casual stalking. And also, he bought a movie theater below his apartment, and she works for him in that movie theater. So it's a workplace romance as well, I guess you would say. There's a lot of tropes in this, now that I think about it. He's also a masked man with that secret identity trope that I just said, so, and that spicy lessons trope that I just said, so I'll leave it at that. I really loved the beginning. Like, the beginning was so interesting, which for me, most books in the beginning are not interesting at all. Like, I'm not interested. I have to get into the book. But this was so interesting. I believe at the like 50% mark, or a little bit before that, I was starting to get a little bit bored, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. Like, I literally, I cannot. So the reason why I gave this a 4 star is because the FMC, I liked her, but there were some things that like I obviously didn't love. The MMC, I think that they did have banter, but like they were kind of cringy together. And then the like plot twist kind of was like, in what world? In what world? You know? In what world? But, you know, I gave it a 4 star, as I keep on mentioning, so, you know, I enjoyed myself. What can I say? Okay, and our next book that I read is Killer Instinct, a part of the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I gave this book a 4.25 stars, and I believe that this book is following Cassie, our main character from the first book. The Naturals, by the way, let me just catch you up, is a program designed for gifted teenagers. So we have 5 teenagers in this Naturals program created by the FBI, and it is a secret. They all have either profiling abilities, like knowing when you're lying ability, reading like facial expressions ability, and also the last one, I think she's just like really smart, like knowledge smart. They basically start with cold cases and then slowly are going into actual serial killer cases going on. That's kind of what this one is about. We follow Cassie, as I said, And I believe we will continue to follow Cassie. So there's no other point of view that we follow. This book, all I really can remember is this follows a copycat serial killer from one of the Natural's dads, who is a serial killer, and he is in a confined jail right now. And this copycat killer is, I actually don't know what I can say or not, so I'll just stick with that. So you're kind of following the investigation of this copycat killer. So I really enjoyed this, and I believe this book specifically in the series, deals with a lot more angst than the other ones have dealt with. I literally crave angst. I am very happy to report that this had a lot of angst for me. I love that. Moving on to All In from the Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I read Killer Instinct and also All In the same series. This one I read from August 10th through August 12th. Clearly, I enjoyed this book. However, I gave it a 3.25 star because I started this book almost directly after I finished Killer Instinct. So I was expecting like, oh yeah, like a ton of angst, like, oh yeah, we got this. But no, after the 60% mark, I got bored. And these books are not big at all. Well, they're kind of like buried, so I'm not gonna touch that. But this one was 378, so like pretty small. And considering I really enjoyed Killer Instinct and then I went straight into this, and I believe Killer Instinct was 300-ish pages. Oh, 375. Okay, Killer Instinct looks way smaller than All In, but anyway, nevertheless, All In is basically, it takes place in Vegas, and we're following another serial killer. So basically they are dealing with a serial killer who is basically on a killing spree. The team has to investigate and figure out who it is and what their motive and pattern is in these killings. So actually, I really enjoyed the plot, the investigation of this one. I really enjoyed it. I just wish we went more into depth, which is crazy because I literally was just saying I wish there was more angst. But actually, I wish there was more, I don't know. Okay, but then Cassie also finds out some more information on her mother and her disappearance. So there's a bit of rising tensions with that as well, with the whole team, the Naturals themselves. So it's just the whole thing. Moving on, we go to Poor Decisions by Audrey Vaughn. I really hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. But this, I could not tell you, I was so excited for this arc that I got because I've been following this author through her whole journey with this series. I actually read the other two books, Sips About to Go Down and Just the Tipsy. I read both of those books in this series as arcs because that I believe, actually this was so funny because this arc, exactly a year before I read this, I read Sips About to Go Down by the same author as an arc. So it was kind of like a full circle moment because that was like the beginning of all of this. I'm very thankful for this author. And I gave this book a 4 stars. So this one is a book in the Stryker family, and this is a small town romance series following the Stryker family brothers and their dynamics and relationships and such. This book takes place in, Jespin, Tennessee, and our FMC, she moves to Jespin. She moves to this town for a position in physical therapy, and our FMC later goes to the doctor, and the doctor was like, you have to get physical therapy because this is not good. It's his knee that needs to be therapied. Both our main characters have had a relationship in the past. So we have Second Chance, Grumpy Sunshine, and Forced Proximity. Man, do I love a second chance. Give me with a second chance, I swear. I swear and I love it. I loved, see the thing is, I gave this a 4-star, but I would probably bump it down to a 3 now, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, because this book specifically was way shorter than the others. I think this one was like 250 something pages. This main character is our oldest of the brothers, and I have been looking forward to his book since like a year ago. So I'm like, I was hoping that we would get a longer book, and we got like a shorter book. So I was kind of disappointed with that. And also, when you have a shorter book, you have to move along with the romance and the plot way faster than you would a regular book. I don't know, the romance was kind of not slow burn at all. It was very, to be fair, they also have been in a relationship before, so it kind of makes sense that they are insta love, dare I say, but not in the kind that it was. You know, like, this is way too quick, way too quick for my personal liking. I do love this series, and we have one more brother to go. And I'm actually really looking forward to that one, because he's barely mentioned in these books for a few reasons that I won't go into, but I'm interested in what dynamic that will be. And I think I know the FMC for that book, so it'll be interesting. Probably I would lower it to a 3-star now. Just, you know. But the others in this series, please, if you have not checked them out, I know Heather has also read Just the Tipsy, and she loved it, and I was like, girl, you have to read Sips All the Way Down. It's so good, like really, like truly. But moving on, oh, and now we have a Nightshade, which click up here if you want to see that vlog, because I just posted it and I hope you watch it. But Nightshade, I read August 16th through 17th, which is that correct? That cannot be correct, because I remember saying in that vlog that it's been a couple of days since I've read it. So, I don't know. I'm sure that's wrong. But anywho, I rated this another 4 stars. This I could actually tell you about, because I just finished editing that vlog right now. I really enjoyed this book, for the most part. So basically, we are following our FMC, Ophelia, I believe, and her parents were at this university, and she gets accepted to this university, and then she has to attend the university that her parents were killed at. So she's not very happy about that. And she's been dealing with this loss for 4 years. She's been on her own for 4 years. Girl. But she goes to this university, and basically she's trying to figure out who killed her parents. And her main suspect is our MMC Alex, his father. She thinks that his father is basically the one who set this up. This is a duet, I believe. So the plot actually finishes in that book. So I'm awaiting that. I am truly. Alex, speaking of, our MMC, he is basically the father to his 6 sisters. Like, oh my gosh. His mother also has a mental illness, so he's kind of taking care of her as well. And he lives, I'm pretty sure, like almost across the world from his parents. So they're in London, and then he's in Ireland. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. Basically, with his story, he is trying to get his father out of the company, like kick him out, so he can never see his father again, because why would you like this father? He has all kinds of triggers. Okay, let's stay far away from him. We have Ophelia trying to find out who killed her parents, and then we have Alex trying to get his father away. 4 stars. The con with this book that I remember that I did not like is that the banter, they have banter. However, this is hate to love. It's also like kind of slow burn, because it takes the whole book for them to retain interest in each other. So love that after the insta-love that I had in Poor Decisions. This also deals with dark themes and mental health representation, so please check the trigger warnings, because this is heavily discussed in this book. So please be warned. Back to what I was saying. They have banter, but the things that they say to each other are, I'm like, oh, no, let's not go there. Moving on. We have A Court of Mist and Fury, which I gave 4.25 stars. I read this August 18th through the 24th. Now, that period of time is because I went to a concert, so I had to drive there, and it was not fun. Okay? The concert, amazing. So I read this book kind of slowly, and it was good. This ACOTAR series, if you don't know, it follows Feyre through her journey in the Fey lands. First book, she is taken by this High Lord, and she's basically low-key imprisoned by him. She has to stay in the castle, maybe for her own benefit. Yes, maybe staying safe is good, but and then there's a little romance going on, a little bit of romance, and then in this book there's a bit of romance, and then there's more romance. I believe that from the first book through however many we have, it's a ongoing plot, which is my one con. The reason I gave this a little bit of a lower rating than I thought I would personally give it, because this is everyone's favorite book in the series. So, but anywho, I didn't love this book because the romance was romance, like, you know, and then the ending, I'm just like, oh, and then oh. I wish that I filmed me finishing the book, because that would be thoroughly entertaining, let me tell you, but I didn't. I'm so sorry. Another thing I would say is that the found family in this is basically none up until the very end. And for me, found family, I love found family. Love it. So if there was more, maybe not in the beginning. Maybe not in the beginning. But more in the middle, I would have been like, oh my god. But no, there's not. There's a little bit, you know? There's a little bit. But not as much as I need. Okay, not as much as I need. As I said, the romance was a little bit interesting. At the end, I'm like, yes. That's all I say for right now, because I don't want to give anything away. 4.25 stars. It was good for the most part. I enjoyed myself. And I will be moving on to the third book once I get an audiobook for that. Okay, the next book that I have is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. And I gave... Okay, I literally... my review for this. Okay. I gave it a 3.25 stars. And this may come as a surprise, but usually the books that people love, I end up not liking. So I'm surprised it even got a 3.25 stars. Because considering Binding 13 and Once Upon a Broken Heart, I was surprised this was not like a 1 star. Not to say the books behind me were bad or terrible, but you know, if you know, you know. As I said, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This follows, if I can remember even, because I read this from August 15th through August 28th. Now I can't imagine why I gave it a 3.25 stars. Because it took me literally more than 10 days to read. But this follows an hockey player, that's our MMC. Can't remember his name, and I can't remember the girl's name either. Hannah, actually, I remember her name. Our FMC, Hannah, she goes to this university, so does the MMC, and she is, I think she's studying, is it philosophy? If that's right, I would be very impressed with myself. Anywho, she gets a high grade on this exam that she had to do in her class, and everyone else basically failed that exam. So then, of course, the MMC comes walking up and was like, hey, could you maybe tutor me? And she's like, no, I'm good. Queen behavior, honestly. So, you know what? Gotta love her for that. I just know this camera is gonna die, and or my card is gonna be full. I just know for sure. My card got full. So I literally did jinx myself. Continuing on, I put average 3.25 stars for this book. I did, yeah. Because honestly, it was just like nothing new. Classic dislike to love, hockey player, grumpy sunshine. Yeah, it was just kind of mid. But I guess I'll watch the show instead, because I don't really know if I want to go on with this series. Better hockey romances behind me. I'll probably just not read the rest of the series. If I'm honest, I'll just watch the show or the movie, whatever it is, you know? And then there's also like that classic, he's like a jock. So it's like, I don't know what to do, you know? It's like, okay, classic man. Classic man. Moving on to our last book in this wrap up. August 28th through the 29th, so one day. Pretty quick. And this was a novella, and the book is Love and Other Killers by Bryn Weaver, my queen. My queen. If I could give you like a top 5 authors, she would be one of them. Love her. And let me tell you, I'm so looking, this is kind of getting off track, but I'm looking forward to Taurus season, which will be out by the time y'all see this video. But I'm so looking forward to that. If you haven't read Butcher and Blackbird, that series, hello? Go and read it right now. Go and read it right now. Basically, I literally just went off thinking about someone else. Okay, this book is 61 pages long, so it's a little itty bitty novella. It's basically the competition that Rowan and Salone made up in Butcher and Blackbird, who can kill another serial killer first. And I love that vibe. And it has all of the characters from the Butcher and Blackbird series in one. And I'm like, I love these characters so much. So just seeing them again, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I just absolutely, I love every single character. Just to see them again, I was just like, I'm dead. I'm gonna just leave it at that for a summary, because honestly, if I give too much away, then it's just gonna be the whole book. 61 pages. What do you want me to do? And I didn't rate this initially, but I did rate Powerful. I figured like that's a novella, so like why wouldn't I rate this one a novella? Out of 5, I would probably give this a 3.25, and that's in novella standards. It's kind of like really short, so I can't really say much, but I love seeing all the characters together. They are my heart. The dynamics between all of them, they are so funny. Like, I was dying laughing. Like, it's truly a dark rom-com. I love them so much. So that was our August wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a very, very fantastical rest of your day. Bye.